Information-fueled.
Opinion-driven.
This is Nashville's Morning News with Dan Mandis.
And so, my fellow Americans,
we talk.
You know what's interesting?
News.
What's interesting, Joan, is CNN has the words on, what do you call it, Chiron, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Pentagon defends operation. It's like they're still trying to put the Pentagon on defense.
Yeah.
If there's anybody who should be on defense at this point, it would be CNN. And it would be the New York Times. Yeah. Real quick, so I got Mitch Silberman on the line, but you said somebody said something cool on the Super Text line? Because we got a lot of feedback this morning.
We got a ton of feedback. So there was somebody, and the last four are 7,600. They said they posted a video going past the accident on, I think it was on 40 this morning. Mile marker 65 southbound. I'm sorry, the big accident on 65 southbound. And they posted this video, and they said that they actually went and posted it on a particular Facebook page, asking anyone if they know anything more about the accident. And they ended up getting all this feedback because people could hear the radio station in the background, and they were commenting about WTN and how much they love the radio station. Instead of talking about the accident, they were talking about the radio station, which I thought was really cool.
That is very cool. Well, thank you, Joan Jones, and I want to welcome on into the program Mitch Silberman. Now, I've had Mitch on several times now. Mitch, you lead the Jewish Republican Alliance, and I've got so many things I want to talk to you about, but real quick, what do you think about, of course, the strike on Iran, and that is to protect Israel? But did you see much of the press conference with Pete Hegseth and Dan Kane?
I did, Dan. It's always such an honor to be on your show. First of all, we witnessed history happening right before us, and President Trump, all the kudos to him, his courage, his vision, his determination. He means what he says, and he says what it means. He had to do this. Every president since Clinton threatened Iran and did virtually nothing, mostly words. I think the world should know by now President Trump needs to be taken seriously and literally when it comes to world peace. And yes, I did see Pete Hegseth. I mean, I'm so proud. You know, he's here, Dan, from Middle Tennessee. He is not to be toiled with. He knows how to handle the press, and he wouldn't stand for it. I love the way he was in their face and took it to them about the way they were trying to denigrate this successful mission.
Mitch, people know you from being on this show. You are someone who you're in the media, and you watch the media as well. And does it ever cease to amaze you how low the media can go to try to do anything they can reflexively to demean President Trump and negate the things that he's done?
Well, you're exactly right. They are so filled with hatred. They don't know what to make of him. They have tried everything up to and including killing him, and they can't stop this man. He is, in so many ways, he's a gift from high above. And you're right. You said earlier, yes, he's protecting Israel. He has the most rabidly pro-Israel, pro-Jewish cabinet in American history. But this strike, Dan, also has protected the U.S. and the world. I mean, we cannot. I mean, listen. Here's a very simple analogy. You have someone on your block that threatens to kill you and your family and says, I'm going to go get weapons to kill you and your family. You can't shrug that off and say, oh, they don't mean it. You can't. Death to America, death to Israel. You're enriching uranium. Someone had to step up and do it. And finally, we had someone with, as we Jews call it, chutzpah, the courage to finally do what needed to be done. Thank God for President Trump.
Yeah, and did you ever think that you would see a moment in time where in a 2-month period, we would see these knuckleheads on the left, I'll call them knuckle draggers, on the left, where they've got their Palestinian flags, and now they've got their Iranian flags that they're protesting with as they burn the American flag. I mean, these folks are clueless.
They are. And, I mean, if you had said in 2024, you watch how many people in America are going to take the side of the mullahs, I'd say, Dan, come on. You can't be serious. There's no way they're going to take the side of the mullahs. But right on cue, whatever Trump is for, they are against. I mean, it's despicable. It's deranged. And, yeah, they don't mind if America fails, if Americans get killed, as long as they stay on this pathological hatred of President Trump and anything good he does for us.
Boy, it is pathological. What a great word. Now, you've been watching Iran for a long time, as have I. So where do you think this whole thing goes now? By the way, Mitch Silberman is joining us. He leads the Jewish Republican Alliance. Where do you think this goes from here? I mean, I do believe that Iran's nuclear weaponry and their facilities, I believe that they were destroyed. President Trump, and I'm going to tell you, Mitch, I've got a bit of a disagreement with this. President Trump says that this is a ceasefire. He does not need to come to a peace agreement with Iran because their nuclear abilities have been decimated. My worry is that we need to keep an eye on Iran, and unless there's a peace deal in place that allows us and or Israel to inspect, every square inch of Iran for any possible nuclear weaponry manufacturing and enrichment of uranium, we can't trust them. So without a peace deal or an agreement, then we don't have access to Iran. So I'm a little worried about that.
Yeah, you're right. They cannot be trusted. It was what Neville Chamberlain, peace in our time. Hitler agreed. So they can agree to a peace deal all they want. Sadly, I was having a discussion with our daughter about Hiroshima and Nagasaki in World War II. People don't realize how ferocious and maniacal the Japanese were, and it took two horrific bombs for them to say, "Oh boy, we're done. We have to surrender. We have been obliterated," to use President Trump's words. It's going to be the same thing with Iran. Sadly, listen, I'm not filled with joy that this had to be done, but sadly, they have to be obliterated to the point where they realize we are cooked. We can't go on because their might and their will is so strong. That's what has to happen for them to really permanently stay neutered, if you will.
Yeah, and along those same lines, and I have not spent the entire morning complaining about some of these things, but my other concern is President Trump has made the announcement that Iran will still be allowed to sell oil to China, which I believe is a mistake because just like you need to neuter them from a nuclear manufacturing and a uranium enrichment standpoint, you also have to destroy their economy. Otherwise, they'll simply continue to fund terrorism.
You are so correct. It pains me to say this, Dan, but you know who gave Iran all that money to bomb Israel? We did. Who authorized it? Obama, Biden. It was our taxpayer money sent to Iran, that famous piles of cash that Obama got away with sending to them.
Yep.
But you're right. You have to destroy them economically and bring them to their knees because this is their religion. Sadly, not Muslims, but Islamists. The Islamists are the ones that have this fanatical religion about, death to the infidels, and they are going to be ruling us, and the horrible things they do to women and gay people. But you're right. They have to be cut off, not just from their nuclear power for evil purposes, but also economically. I completely agree with you.
It's so crazy, too. We're talking earlier about how you got all these protesters with the Iranian flag draped around their shoulders while they burn the American flag. And you hit it spot on. All the things that Iran is known for, as far as what they do to homosexuals, the lack of rights for women, all of that. And these folks are they're completely clueless. Coming up, Mitch Silberman is joining us, leading the Republican Alliance, the Jewish Republican Alliance. Got a couple more questions for you coming up, though. Got to check the roads real quick on WTN. Thank you. As far as your weather goes, today high of 96 and mostly cloudy. Feels like 100 degrees. And Mitch, you, of course, here in Middle Tennessee, and it has been incredibly, incredibly hot. So I want to play you a soundbite, and I just want to get your reaction to it. New York, the guy who I believe is going to be their next mayor, had this to say about Benjamin Netanyahu coming to New York.
As mayor, New York City would arrest Benjamin Netanyahu. This is a city that our values are in line with international law. It's time that our actions are also.
Even though the U.S. is not a signatory to the ICC?
No, it's time that we actually step up and make clear what we are willing to do to showcase the leadership that is sorely missing in the federal administration.
That is the Democrat socialist named Zoran Mamdani. And a lot of folks believe that he is going to be the next mayor of New York. That was the primary that he won for the Democrats, and now the general election is going to be in November. But, the other thing, aside from that abhorrent comment, is the fact that he's been very active in the boycott, divest, and sanction movement against Israel. How worried are you that anti-Semitism is running rampant and seemingly growing across America, especially in the Democrat Party?
Well, the Democrat Party is sadly the headquarters for anti-Semitism in America. Just to be clear, not all Democrats hate Jews, but the crux of the anti-Semitism, the strength of it, sadly, is now leading the Democrat Party. Yeah, it's a big concern. This guy, there's two things you need to know about this guy, Dan. Number one, he's an Islamist, not a Muslim. If he's a Muslim, I don't care. He's an Islamist, and that soundbite you played proves it. He thinks Netanyahu's a war criminal. The poor Gazans, they're just minding their own business, and Israel was never attacked, and it's always Israel's fault. The other thing, too, is he's not really just a socialist. He's a communist. He's essentially a trust fund baby that's never had to work a day in his life, which is why he talks about having state-run grocery stores. He has no clue about economics, hard work, sacrifice, and, of course, on top of that, he hates Jews. So it's pretty frightening, actually.
It is frightening, and that's why the work that the Jewish Republican Alliance does is so important. How can people find you folks on the World Wide Web? And is there anything else you want to talk about today? Because there's a lot going on.
There is a lot going on. So our website is www.jewishrepublicanalliance.org, not .com, but .org, jewishrepublicanalliance.org. On X, it's Jew Rep Alliance. And it's really a great place for anyone who loves America and loves Israel. We've engaged so many people. It's a place where conservatives can take a stand for America and Israel. It doesn't matter if you're Jewish, Christian, Muslim, Democrat, Republican. If you love America, you love Israel, you want to get involved, you want to take a stand, it's a great place to get involved and make a difference.
All right, Mitch, it's always great to have you on the program. We'll have you on again real soon, and appreciate the time today. It is 8:20 on Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Super text line is open, 615-737-9986. Joan, what I find interesting is a lot of people in hearing Joint Chiefs Chairman Dan Kane speak about how this whole thing took place. A lot of people are saying it is exactly like Star Wars, where at the end of Star Wars 4, where Luke Skywalker is trying to blow up the Death Star, and the bomb or whatever it was went right down that shaft. Oh, remember that? You saw Star Wars, right?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, so
I wouldn't have remembered that until you said it, but yeah.
Well, any true Star Wars fan, and of course, if you don't like Star Wars, then you're a communist. I'm just kidding. But and a lot of people are also making the comparison to Maverick and Top Gun and all that kind of stuff too. So really interesting. Coming up, do you have any other news to report on this? I mean, I feel like we've kind of done our jobs here. We covered the press conference, we played the relevant audio, and we've got the reaction now with CNN. And I don't know, have we missed anything on this?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's anything new coming out since then. So, no, I think you got it.
All right, very good. Interesting morning, 8:21 on Nashville's Morning News. And Joan's got the news coming up at 8:30. Joan.
Yeah, this is a big day for Supreme Court rulings. The last Thursday in June. We'll tell you what decisions are expected any moment today. It should be within the next, a half hour, 45 minutes. All that's coming up here at 8:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.